If you're going to get a hip replacement, they'll give you a lump sum rather than paying the anesthesiologist, the orthopod, the hospital, and the physical rehab person separately. When you get a lump sum,
you as the hospital get a lump sum.
Well, someone will get a lump sum. I think it will be the hospital. I hope it's the hospital, but it'll be someone. And so when you get a lump sum, everybody has to sit down and say, how do we split the money and how do we make sure we're as efficient as possible? Then they'll start moving to systems where there'll be coverage for a prolonged period of time. You know, if you're going to have bypass surgery, it's from when you got diagnosed before you got into the hospital to 90 days after you get out of the hospital, one lump sum.
So if I'm a patient and I know that that's coming down the road, some kind of heart surgery coming down the road for me, could I actually shop around then and find out how much that lump sum is going to be at different hospitals?
You'll be able to do that in certain circumstances, yes. And hospitals will end up starting to put information out on their websites about costs and about quality, mostly about quality. See, at UK, we're building a website where you'll be able to get in and see all of our numbers, what our safety numbers are, what our quality numbers, our patient satisfaction numbers, and ultimately outcomes. You'll be able to see if Dr. X, you know, how many cases he does, what his mortality rate is, what his complication rate. That's the kind of stuff that will drive the system to being much more efficient, much more patient-oriented.
Well, you all have some big plans at UK, and I read in Linda Blackford's piece about how you want UK Hospital to be a regional powerhouse. Explain what you mean by that.
Well, we think that if the Commonwealth is going to be served appropriately, it needs a regional center that does the kind of things that major academic medical centers do. You know, full service trauma, full service subspecialty pediatrics, advanced cancer care, including bone marrow transplantation, solid organ transplantation, some of the really complex neuroscience stuff, some of the really complex surgeries. Because if people in Kentucky don't have access to it in Kentucky, then they may have trouble getting to the Mayo Clinic or getting to a Vanderbilt. So
is that what you envision it UK to be on the level of the Mayo Clinic, of the Cleveland Clinic?
Absolutely. Our competition is not local. We're not in competition with Central Baptist or St. Joe's and any of the local providers or St. Clair Edge. We actually want to work with them. So what we want to do is make sure that we can cover in the best way possible, at the highest quality, all of the stuff that a place like Vanderbilt, Washington University, Indiana Clarion, Cleveland Clinic, and UPMC in Pittsburgh cover. To do that, when you start getting into things like liver transplants, you need to do enough of them so that you can support the infrastructure and do it in a quality kind of way. So we think we need to do 60 to 75 liver transplants a year. If you take a look at how many liver transplants occur per million population, you need to cover 5 million people, 6 million people. So we need to be a regional provider, not only for all of Kentucky, but parts of West Virginia, parts of Ohio, parts of Tennessee.
What about the University of Louisville Hospital? Is this kind of elbowing them into second-class status?
I don't think it's elbowing into second-class status. To be honest with you, the reality is that there'll be only one major provider or no major provider like that in Kentucky, just because of the numbers. If you need to have a network that covers 4 or 5 million people, 6 million people, the entire state of Kentucky is only 4 million people.
And you all have been partnering with other providers, Norton Healthcare, Shriners Hospital for the Children's Hospital. Is that the future, that there are going to be 1 or 2 major umbrella networks in a state like Kentucky, and that's it?
There'll probably be 3, maybe 4 general networks, but there'll be 1 major referral center. And some of those other competing networks will actually end up using us as their referral center, or they'll be sending them to Vanderbilt. We'll be competing with Vanderbilt and Cleveland Clinic based on outcomes and price.
Well, then let me ask you on the other side of the U of L question. They tried to merge. Obviously, you know that story and how that worked out. They were kind of left out as Jewish Hospital and Catholic Health Initiatives merged together, and U of L didn't end up being a part of that. Could UK and U of L, as part of the state system, could you all merge together? Could you team up in some way?
That's a complicated question because I think that in order to be a major referral center, you have to be a sufficient size. See, when I first got to UK, we did 19,000 discharges a year. This year we'll do about 36,000 discharges. We're about the 30th, 35th largest academic medical center in the country right now. U of L is relatively small. Could we work with U of L?
What if you team up? You would be bigger, right?
Yeah, it would be bigger, but when it comes to these very complex procedures, you only do them in one spot because you need the team and the infrastructure, both in equipment and in personnel.
Well, what about specializing, having, I don't know, cancer? U of L has a very sophisticated cancer center, doing a lot of cancer treatments at U of L, doing heart and liver transplants and those kind of things at UK. Could you not use those to specialize?
There'd have to be a lot of discussions. There'd have to be a lot of give and take, and there'd have to be some compromise in all parties. So I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's a complex process to get there.
All right, be honest with me. You're not just against it because of the basketball rivalry, are you?
No. We enjoy the basketball rivalry. I think competition in the state in basketball works a whole lot better than us competing in medicine, to be honest with you. No, I think it's a matter of how you structure facilities and programs to service the Commonwealth most effectively.
Well, speaking of structures, you all are looking at a total $1 billion development when it all comes to the new tower that you all have done, the new plans for the renovations and basically new construction of the Children's Hospital with Shriners. When you're looking at all that, is this the right time to make that investment with some level of uncertainty, as you said, about the Affordable Care Act?
We have no choice because as we've built programs, we've grown dramatically. And in order to recruit people on a national basis, because I compete against Harvard, Michigan, UCLA for talent, I have to have the facilities to be able to recruit those people and allow them to build programs of excellence. So, as you know, we pay for the clinical facilities on our own. The first phase was $590 million, and part of that was bonds, part of that is cash flow. Next phase will be $264 million. We never blinked through the Great Recession. We just kept going because the volumes kept growing.
And that included a little bit of borrowing from UK's cash surplus, right? $87 million.
Yes, it did. What we did is because the stock market didn't go up as we had originally anticipated and actually went down, we didn't want to sell our stock portfolio at a low point. So rather than essentially sell off part of our stock portfolio, our reserves, we borrowed money knowing full well that over a couple of years we'll pay that back.
Okay. All right. Well, last thing, if you all pay that back and if this goes the way you hope it will with a booming regional powerhouse, is there any chance that if you all are making money as a nonprofit hospital, that you could pump some money back into the campus, new buildings in other areas of the campus, academics, faculty raises, those kind of things that have been put off?
I'll answer that in two ways. One, we already build programs with other parts of the campus. So I actually support 2 faculty members in the School of Music for music therapy. We support through the Cancer Center a faculty member in communications, and I support programs in pharmacy, nursing, and in public health. We're a large business, Ryan. Over the last 9 years since I've been here, we had to generate and invest $1.4 billion in recruiting faculty, equipment, computer systems, and bricks and mortars. Over the next 10 years, we'll have to invest another $1 billion. And the next 10 years after that will be another $1 billion. So like any large business, you have to have continued capital investment to keep us competitive. So when you start competing with the Michigans of the world and the Dukes of the world, it's going to take a lot of resources. We generate those resources internally. As we build programs, we'll continue to work with the campus. On the research side, that's where we need some help from the state, because that has a lot of economic impact, and that's not something I can build off of clinical dollars. And then when we get into research, we cooperate quite a bit with the rest of the university.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll look forward to hearing how these plans go as they move forward. And Dr. Karpf, you have a welcome spot here anytime on Pure Politics. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.